We had the first part of the census results released today, a census done a year ago, and we're wading through the numbers. On the line, Mike Schussler from economist.co.za. Mike, various elements to these numbers that seem to be interesting, but certainly the headline number, I would imagine from an economic perspective, is inequality. It's still there along racial lines, although it does seem to be compressing to some extent.
Well, yes, I think, one must realize that black folks have had, black Africans had the biggest increase in income. That's the first thing. And while you can say, yes, white people earn 6 times more on average or on a household, the fact of the matter is, the median age of whites is 38. The median age of black people or African people is 21. So that explains part of it. The other thing is that higher education, 4.5 times more white people proportionately have a higher education, or that's post-matric education, than Africans. So that must also explain it. That's, and then we know from the quarterly labor force survey that 3 times as many white people also have their own businesses, which also helps explain it. But certainly there's still inequalities, but we have to go beyond the reason, beyond the headline screaming numbers and find out what the reason is for those inequalities, because, otherwise it's just a statement out there that incites the situation rather than calms it down.
Certainly, Mike. And you refer to education. The numbers show that less than a third of our population has a matric, so a huge backlog that we have in that department.
Well, yes, that's the problem is particularly amongst Africans and coloureds, according to this. You've got about 33% or 34% of Africans have a matric or more, and about 32% of coloureds have a matric or more, compared to 62% for Indians and literally 75% or 76% for whites. So, that is certainly a very big role. But the one thing is, let's look at trends. Our assets have improved tremendously over the last few years. The number of houses, cell phones, all that type of stuff has gone up. Our income has gone up way beyond that of inflation. So the people in jobs specifically are doing very, very well. And I think the census in a way, informal sector jobs, so I just need to rephrase that. And the census seems to bring that to the fore, although one has to go a little bit behind the numbers to find that. But there are very good news stories as well, and we see more people in houses, less people in informal sector settlements, yes. And it's a proportion of the population that's coming down quite tremendously.